Hello and a very good morning to all of you on this week's Igraasp news capsule. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. So let's get ready and always step up to good reading habits. The highlights of this news capsule are: Finance Ministry announces Union budget for 2021-22. Military takeover in Myanmar. First private space crew paying $55 million each to fly to space. Lucknow Metro sets national record as first metro project to use UV rays to disinfect. Swedish company IKEA buys 11,000 acres of forest in Georgia to protect it from development. Japanese PM determined to hold Olympics despite uncertain COVID situation in country. And of course, last but not the least, our stimulating F2 segment. It's now time to begin with the national news segment.
The Union Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, announced India's Union budget for 2021-22 on February 1st. Last year, if you recall, Igraspers, Finance Minister Sitharaman had moved away from the long-standing tradition of carrying budget documents in a leather briefcase and had gone Swadeshi instead with a Bahi Khata, a ledger wrapped in red-coloured cloth. Well, this year, the Union Budget mobile app for hassle-free access of the 14 budget documents was launched. And for the very first time in independent India, the Union Budget was completely paperless. Finance Minister presented the Union Budget 2021 in the Parliament and focused on 6 key areas of health and well-being, infrastructure, development of aspirational India, human capital, innovation and R&D, and minimum government and maximum governance.
The army has enacted a coup in Myanmar. A coup is when the army of a country forcefully takes over its own government. Myanmar's military has seized power after detaining Aung San Suu Kyi and other democratically elected leaders. The coup has come up after a huge win by Suu Kyi's party in the national election last November. The army has objected to the win, saying that there was an election fraud. Troops are patrolling the streets and a nighttime curfew is in force, with a 1-year state of emergency declared.
A lot of people have the dream of going into space, and SpaceX is making that reality. 3 private citizens are paying a whopping $55 million each to fly to space in a SpaceX rocket. This will be the first ever private trip to the International Space Station. The 3 individuals will take 15 weeks of training before they embark on their epic journey. If you had the money, would you want to go to space, Igraspers?
The company EVA that has made the world's biggest drone, Robin X, will potentially send low Earth satellites into space. The drone will be able to fly itself into a specific altitude where it would launch a rocket containing several small satellites. The company also claims that this would be much cheaper as compared to other companies like SpaceX. To further add to this, the company has spoken about its launch being 70% reusable, and the company is pushing it to make a full 100%.
The Lucknow Metro has become the first metro in the country to use UV rays to disinfect their coaches. Taking a cue from the New York Metro, the UPMRC, which stands for the Uttar Pradesh Metro Rail Corporation, has taken passenger safety very seriously by implementing this form of ultraviolet disinfection to make sure people traveling are safe. This sanitization happens every 15 minutes and is very cost efficient as well. With the success of the UPMRC, it's only a matter of time before other states incorporate this as well into their metro rail systems.
Robot dogs have been around for a while now, but most of them can't replace the emotional connection that exists between us and man's best friend. Well, now with a little help from artificial intelligence, robotics company Coda thinks it can change that. Its new robotic dog uses AI system to help sense whether its owner is happy, sad, or excited. And over time, the dog is able to learn and train itself on how best to respond to how humans are feeling. An emotionally sensitive dog that you don't have to walk or clean up? Might sound like an appealing idea. However, this kind of technology doesn't come cheap. Coda's robot dog is available from $45,000 onwards. So this probably means our real-life furry friends don't need to worry about being replaced anytime soon.
We all know that the Cookie Monster loves cookies, but never would we have thought that his likeness would be found on a rock. The stone that had the character's likeness is called an agate. It is a kind of quartz that gets developed within cavities in volcanic rocks. This marvelous agate was found in Brazil, with the collector saying he would like to keep this rock for the time being, but would eventually probably give it to a museum. Just like us, it turns out Mother Earth too is a fan of Sesame Street.
IKEA, the Swedish home store, recently bought close to 11,000 acres in Georgia, USA, to preserve a forest diverse ecosystem and prevent any form of development on it. Close to 500 years ago, this forest was about 90 million acres, and now only 4% of it remains. The Swedish company has also bought forest land in other states within the United States of America and has planted close 7 million seedlings in countries all over the world. Way to go, IKEA, always stepping up to help the environment.
Scientists have known for decades that individual shark species are declining. But a new study shows just how dramatically worldwide populations have collapsed in the past half century. Sharks, as we all know, are terrific predators, fast swimmers, and they have amazing senses. They can detect any disturbance in the ocean from a great distance. It is their ability to quickly sense anything outside the norm in their environment that makes them vulnerable in the face of increased international fishing pressure. While climate change and pollution also imperils shark survival, increased global fishing pressure is the greatest threat for every oceanic shark species. Sharks are the lions, tigers, and the bears of the ocean world, and they help keep the rest of the ecosystem in balance. Declining numbers of the top predators of the ocean is surely going to impact every part of the marine ecosystem.
Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga is determined to hold the Olympics this summer despite the growing coronavirus cases in Japan. The Tokyo Olympics were postponed last year due to the COVID pandemic, but now Mr. Suga believes that it is important to hold the event as it is a symbol of human victory over the global pandemic. Even Olympic officials are confident that the event will go as per the planning in July. With the grand entrance of Olympics, here's hoping India's medal tally goes through the roof this year.
The Vendée Globe Race is a 24,296-mile race, also known as the Everest of the Seas. It is a grueling event that tests sailors on their knowledge of the seas along with their endurance. This year's winner was Yannick Bestaven, a Frenchman who actually finished third in the race but was declared the winner by the judges due to him spending time saving a fellow competitor stuck on a life raft for 11 hours. So you see, Igraspers, winning isn't everything. Sometimes you've got to be looking out for your fellow competitors as well.
Igraspers meet 25-year-old activist Iradajere Olata, who has been helping homeless people in the city of Detroit by fashioning sleeping bags out of used potato chip bags. Olata has started a website where she collects these chip packets and has pointed out that the inner foil lining of the bag helps in reflecting body heat. To add to this, the bags are also durable, waterproof, and extremely lightweight. It takes 150 of these packets to make a sleeping bag. Now that is innovation.
The word of the week is aptitude, which means a natural ability or skill. Shaurya has a real aptitude for science.
An American rock band staged a unique performance in Oklahoma recently, with both the band and the audience in protective space bubbles. The concert accommodated 100 bubbles with 3 people each. According to the reports, the bubbles were equipped with a speaker, fan, bottle of water, and towels. The attendees had to also wear face masks when outside their bubbles. As they say, necessity is the mother of all inventions.
The riddle of the week is, what can you hear but never touch or see? Think. Yes, it's a voice.
On the occasion of India's 72nd Republic Day, Kolkata got its first library on a boat for children. Children will be able to choose from a selection of 500 titles in English and Bengali on the Young Readers Boat Library. The aim of the boat library is to have children read books while appreciating the beauty of Kolkata while cruising on the Hooghly River. The library will host activities such as storytelling, poetry sessions, book launches, music and more. As reported in the Igraasp capsule, on Children's Day last year, Kolkata had inaugurated its first library on wheels, on a tram. This capital city of West Bengal is a city with a deep-rooted culture and intellectual awareness, isn't it, Igraaspers?
Can you guess who? This professional Portuguese footballer who has played forward is the first European to score over 100 goals. He has won 5 Ballon d'Or, 4 European Golden Shoes and many more titles. He is the first footballer to earn $1 billion in his career, becoming Forbes' highest paid soccer player. Yes, you guessed it. It is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Did you know that 1 year on Neptune is equal to 165 Earth years? That's an awfully long duration if a Neptune alien were to wait for their birthday, isn't it?
Quiz time! How many Earth years will make 1 year on Jupiter? Send your answers to contact us at igraasp.com. Answer for the last week's quiz. The longest above water range of mountains are the Andes Mountains, which are about 4,300 miles long. This certificate of appreciation is presented to Mandrita Bhattacharya of St. Augustine's Day School, Barrackpore, for successfully participating in the weekly quiz on India's leading news capsule for tweens, Igraasp.
Dear Igraaspers, this week let's read A Pocket Full of Stars. 13-year-old Sophia loves gaming, but her mother wants her to pursue higher interests such as theatre. This creates a rift between the two. When Sophia's mother suddenly goes into a coma, Sophia has to wait by her bedside to nurse her. She begins playing a game full of mystery and magic. Fun really begins when Sophia meets a rebellious teenage girl with a secret who looks strangely familiar. Read this heartwarming story of love and bonding and share your feedback on contact us at igraasp.com.
With this, we come to the end of our news wrap. Every day may not be as good, but there is definitely something good in every day. Until we meet again, keep your thoughts positive and always look at the bright side of things. See you next week. Bye bye.